change the key of a song in Ableton Live 9. So first you're going to want to warp the tracks. Now this is a really cool tool in Ableton Live. It allows you to change the tempo of a song, the key of a song, just have more control over it and edit it how you want. Essentially you're telling Ableton a few bits of information and it's making a lot of decisions about the WAV files and allowing you to edit them and change them a little bit more to whatever you really need them to do. So I'm going to go in and first of all I need to tell Ableton that the right time signature and the right BPM for the tracks that I have. Otherwise it can start trying to make a 4/4 song fit in 6/8, making a song that's 64 BPM fit in a song that's 72, like what we could be possibly doing here if we're not careful. So you'll see that Living Hope is what we're going to change, is at 72 BPM. Well, say we just came out of the last song, Amazing Grace at 64, its master tempo is going to be set at 64. Also, here's the master for the time signature. So Ableton's reading at those two different, the time signature and that BPM. Well, I want to change it to Living Hope. So easy as you could click on this because I have the information in there and it's going to tell, okay, now play at 72. Or you could just enter it in, press enter, and now Ableton knows, okay, I need to read things at 72 BPM. Now I'm going to highlight, just you click and drag, or you can click on the furthest and then shift click and highlight all of these clips in here in the song Living Hope. And I'm going to go in and warp them now. So here's my warp menu. You're going to take this drop-down menu, make sure that it's on Complex or Complex Pro. Complex is great. When you warp something, sometimes you're going to do weird things with the tones. Complex is really good for pads and key stuff. Complex Pro ends up working better, I found, for strings and electric guitars and acoustics and other stringed instruments. But you just got to solo things here and there and figure out if something's not sounding right, how to make it sound a little better. But change between these two. But let's just start with Complex, and then I'm going to press Warp. Now, Ableton knows what's going on in these tracks, and it's going to allow me to make some changes to it now that I've warped it. So head on over to this transpose wheel, because right now we're in G flat. I'm always going to put the original key of the tracks in parentheses here so you know where our starting point is. For this song, I want it to be an A instead. So what I need to do is just click here and press 3 and then enter, and it's going to transpose all of these tracks up. 2. So now we're in A. Now maybe I only want it to be in G. Well, I'm just going to do 1 because this wheel is going to work by half steps. So that's 1 half step from G flat. It's going to be in G. Let's say I want to go down a half step and put in an F. I'm going to have to do -1. And now we're in F. So again, I want this to be an A. I'm hit here, 3, enter. And now we are in the key of A. Again, if this doesn't show up down here, there's a little toggle to the bottom right. It's a little triangle, and you can hit that, and then it'll pop up that menu. But typically, just by double-clicking on this, on a clip, will cause that to pop up. I hope this has been helpful.